This is my club, Solomontown, the Cats, one of the more traditional clubs here in Port Pirie, over 100 years of history. So here we are, this is the Globe Oval, and as you can see it's not in use anymore, but this is where I played all my junior football. This is the home ground. So most Saturdays, this is where I was. I'd play under 13s in the morning, have a kick and a catch, and then hang around, and there were 2 under 18s games in the afternoon. And I would work on the scoreboard. It's no longer there, but I got paid $10 and a free Coke and a pasty for lunch.
He had a real football head on him, you know. He knew what to do, and I've often said to people, I didn't have to coach him because he virtually coached himself. You know, you didn't have to tell him anything. He just did it.
The ball's clear now at the moment. Comes the way of the player in Mark. Bickley puts the ball to goal, and that's a medalist.
One of my favourite memories on the Globe Oval here was in the under 18s. I played with my older brother. He kicked 27 goals, 16. I think I might have kicked 5, but to be fair, the opposition only had 15 players.
Well, I knew he'd make it in Adelaide in the sample. There wasn't any problem there. I wasn't really thinking about him going to AFL level at that stage, to be quite honest. But he knew with his sort of dedication and determination that he would make it in Adelaide as a player.
So North Adelaide had been really interested because I was in their zone, and I went down and had trained a fair bit, did a pre-season with North Adelaide, but was told that I didn't quite have the attributes that they were looking for. So after having another successful season here in '88 in Port Pirie, South Adelaide were really keen. John Reid was the coach, strangely enough, and they paid $2,000, and overnight I was a South Adelaide player.
You know, I think everyone was really proud of him, especially from the Solomontown Footy Club. Couldn't believe that he got to those levels, but in one way you can't believe it, but when you look at him and how he started, it wasn't really any surprise in the end.
Yeah, I think there was enormous pride coming back to Port Pirie because, you know, people were so happy when someone from their area does something good. So, you know, I felt like there was so much support for country people and Port Pirie people for me in the way they followed me and were happy for me. But also, you know, I get this sense of pride that it doesn't matter, you know, where you start or what your upbringing is. You know, I had a pretty modest upbringing that you really can achieve anything if you put your mind to it and are given some opportunities. And I was fortunate to be given those opportunities, and yeah, really proud, I guess, when I look back now.